Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and I'm continuing my book recommendations based on your Hogwarts house in this video, and this one will clearly be Slytherin. I've already done Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff, so go check those out if you haven't seen them yet. Again, I am doing 4 books for each house, so getting right started, the first one that I would recommend for a Slytherin is The Thousandth Floor by Katherine McGee. This is a trilogy that takes place in the future in New York, and a giant super skyscraper that is 1,000 floors has been built in the footprint of the old Central Park. And the lower on the tower you live, the more poor you are, and the higher you live, the more rich you are, with the very richest up on the 1,000th floor. This book follows 5 point of view characters, with Avery Fuller being the genetically modified girl made to look and be perfect by her parents living up on the 1,000th floor. But of course, as the book says, the higher up you are, the further you have to fall. So this book has just a lot of intrigue, and all the characters are definitely full of ambition to be the richest, most popular, but of course many of them find that that doesn't bring as much happiness as they thought it would. And by the end of the series, many of them start using their ambition to help each other rather than to hurt each other. It's a very slick, interesting series that I think would keep any Slytherin's interest. Next, I have the Game of Thrones series by George R.R. Martin. I just really couldn't think of a more Slytherin-y book or series than a Game of Thrones. These books are full of many different faceted Slytherins, and again, it is full of intrigue and characters using their wits to get ahead and to plot against and for each other. There are 5 very large books in this series to keep any Slytherin busy for quite some time. Third, I have With Malice by Eileen Cook. This book is about a girl who wakes up in a hospital with no memory of the past month or so, and she had been on a school trip to Italy, I believe, and when she wakes up in the hospital, she's told she was in a car crash, and she is also told that she was the driver and it was an intentional crash meant to kill both herself and her best friend. She, of course, doesn't believe this. She cannot fathom any circumstance that would lead her to want to kill her best friend. And so the book is her kind of recovering from this crash and also trying to put the pieces together to figure out what was actually going on. So it's quite a mystery, and our main character ends up being a bit of a gray character and kind of swings toward the dark side of her Slytherin tendencies at the end, and sort of spins the situation into her own advantage. Finally, I have another mystery book, The Two Lilas by Liz Fenton and Lisa Steinck. And this is one where our main character, who is also a Slytherin, as in With Malice, at the end swings toward the light side of her Slytherin tendencies. It is about a woman who has been cheating on her husband, and at the beginning of the book, she breaks off that relationship. And then from there, the book splits into 2 different stories. One story in which she is kidnapped, and one story in which she is not, based on the choice she made. And so it's a mystery to figure out who kidnapped her in this other storyline and why. And in both storylines, she kind of sees that she has only been thinking about herself for much of her life, and that she's being rather unfair to some of the people around her, and she ends up a better person for it. So definitely a very interesting journey with a Slytherin character, seeing how she can use her wits and ambition to help herself and others, and how these traits can badly affect her or positively affect her, depending on how she puts them to use. And definitely a very twisty storyline that I think would keep any Slytherin's interest. So yeah, these are my 4 recommendations for anyone in Slytherin. Let me know down below if you have any Slytherin recommendations or if you have read any of these Slytherin books. Thanks for watching. Remember, words matter.